alaikum and hello everyone. Um,
Islam.
uh, Jazakallah khair for attending. Inshallah, the
Yeah,
objective of this Zoom session is just to discuss the candidates that are putting themselves forward for the local elections in the Park Ward, Halifax. We're not going to give our opinion as to who you should be voting. This is just information that we've just known about this candidate. So, just a bit of background: halifaxvoice.co.uk has reached out to all of these candidates via email, and unfortunately, none of them responded back. And they were mentioning that they were busy with election campaigning and so forth. But at the same time, you've got the likes of Ashley Evans and you got the likes of Paul Bellinger. They were the first one to reply back, and they were the first one for us to have an interview. Now, who we have today is Muhammad from Bradford Voice, and we've got Haroon Muhammad Haroon from Halifax Pakistani, and myself from Halifax Voice. So let's start with talking about Sadia Zaman. So yeah, begin with yourself. Uh, Sadia Zaman is part of the Labour Party. So what do you know about her?
to be honest, I don't know much about her, but as you know, the Labour leader made it clear that he wishes to see and he fully supports the cutting off of food, water, and electricity, and he wishes to see people starve to death in Gaza. And incidentally, there was an incident at a hospital in Gaza where there was premature babies that were left in the incubators, and then when they and the whole hospital was evacuated by the IDF. When they went back, they found that the babies were dead and decomposing, and this was reported on all the mainstream media outlets in this country. So it's not me making that up. It was on Sky News, on BBC News, and so forth. Right. So this man, the leader of that party, he has made it clear that he supports that. So Sadia Zaman, what she should do is she should resign from that party immediately, because by staying there, she endorses what he supports, in my opinion. So that's the first thing. And as you know, a lot of people, especially Muslim people, are upset with what he said, right? And he then came on ITV, and Starmer, he made it clear. He said, "Oh, I understand that some communities in the Muslim communities are upset. It's not just Muslim communities that are upset. It's every single other community in this country that is upset with what he said and what he endorsed. So it's not just our community telling her that you shouldn't be in this party if this is the leader's opinions and his support for the genocide that's going on." Okay, so that's the first thing. The other thing is that she should have a conscience. Now, I've heard people saying that you've got to stay within the Labour Party. I think there's a text going out where apparently she knocked on somebody's door and they were Palestinians, and they said that don't resign, stay in the party. We need a voice from inside. Let me make it clear: these people have done nothing for Kashmir. How can they do something for Palestine?
Exactly, and plus the argument for staying within is an illogical argument, because from history we see that if you stay within and change the party, you become part of the party. So you adopt their manners, you adopt their ideas, and you become like them. For example, the Germans in the 1940s, they basically said, okay, the Nazis are creating havoc and around Germany and Europe. So let us join the Nazi party. Let's change them within. So after a couple of years, the Germans, they became Nazis themselves. So the way the party structure is for the Labour Party and the Conservatives and so forth, it embeds you to the policies and party rules, and you got to work within them. You don't really have a free opinion or an independent opinion to raise your own voice. So eventually you become like them. That's why we've got a lot of Muslims who are seeing their brethren being massacred by the Israeli regime there, and they are not even moving anything. They're not even leaving. They're not even raising their voice. Now the other question is, um, have you seen her in the community? Yeah, has she done any projects relating to Palestine?
I'm not from Halifax, so if the other guests can answer that, please.
Okay, Mr. Harun,
Yes.
Sadia Zaman in our community, is she a known character? What has she done for Palestine?
For me, to be honest with you, I'm born and bred in Halifax. I've lived here all my life, and I've never heard of her. The only time I heard of her was just recently when I heard that she was going to stand for Labour. I've never heard of her. I've never seen her anywhere. Um, I was told that she was attending some of these Halifax Friend of Palestine vigils downtown. That's the only thing I've heard about her. Um, and as far as it comes to Park Ward, I've never heard of her. I've never seen her. She's not done anything. She's not for Palestine. So she's a total stranger, to be honest.
Yeah. So now, if you've never heard of her in Halifax, what do you think will be the future for if she gets elected? She'll go into hiding again.
Well, she's hiding already because many people are trying to contact her via email. I've heard some people are wanting to speak to her in interviews and stuff,
Yeah,
and she's declining.
yeah. Halifax
And
Voice, Halifax Voice has sent her an email requesting for an interview. Well, we've sent it out to all the candidates, and they've not responded for an interview. Now, you've got the local issues, yeah, which every council can deal with, because when you get elected, you go on a training course. The council puts you on a training course on how to conduct yourself in the council, the various offices that there are, various departments and so forth. Yeah, but now the vote is on Palestine, especially in our area where there's predominant Muslim area. So, so she's not done anything for Palestine. She's not known character. Yeah. So, what do you think will be the future for her? I mean, should
so, as I was saying just before, that she's declining and hiding from all these people who are trying to contact her via emails and for interviews, and also on Facebook as well, including myself, many of my friends, many of community members. They've commented on some of her posts, and I'm seeing that she's deleting and blocking these people. So it makes me think that you're standing for Park Ward, right? You're saying you're going to represent Park Ward, and then when people are wanting to speak to you, you're blocking them, you're declining them, you're not even bloody answering your messages or emails, and you're hiding from everybody. So it's going to be the same even after the elections.
yeah, looks like it. I think Labor is gonna play its tricks. They all do that. Like, for example, there was some Facebook site. They were reporting that there's a fly tipping around King Cross, and it was really bad. And they emailed some of the councillors. They're not doing anything about it. So the councillors that we elect in Park Ward, they are so complacent that they're not even hearing the basic things like fly tipping, like potholes and other
They've
councillors.
become very big-headed and arrogant.
Yeah, so Labour's become arrogant. What would you view on this, Gulfraz? What should we do with the Labour in our community? They've not heard, like Shazad Fazal, he was elected, so was Rahat, and they've not called out Keir Starmer. They've not called out the Labour Party at all. I think like Jenny Lynn has got a lead on them, and she's like controlling them like as if they were her dogs. Yeah, that's my view. And Sadia is going to become the same if she gets elected. She's going to abide by the national party policies and forget about our community, which is suffering from fly tipping, from NHS waiting list to see the doctors, from other issues that we have like cost of living crisis. Is going to be all ignored. Yeah, and so this is not.
Can I just say that like Harun is saying that he's never seen her and she won't contact anybody. So if this is her attitude now, then what's it going to be like when she gets elected and people need help?
Exactly.
You know, and you know this isn't the correct attitude. And the other thing is, the Labour Party have taken the Muslim vote for granted for far too long, right? And what they do is, right, most Pakistanis, most Muslims who are Pakistanis, right? I'm sure you'll understand when we were young, they used to say Labour ki vote dio, Labour ki vote dio. That's all we heard from our elders, yeah. Okay, and we're now in a position where we're in you know in a elder type position, okay, right? So the Labour Party know that they're just going to get these votes, and they take the votes, and they you know the power they get from that if they become the government or not, right? They then don't bother with these communities. That's why you've got more potholes than a crazy golf course in Halifax. I've seen some of the videos on them, right? And these type of people that, like, are only saying that there's no contact with this candidate who doesn't seem to want to engage with the community. 9 out of 10 times they come from a big family, right? They've got the bladry system, they get all the votes, and then we as a community end up with a useless candidate or a useless councillor, you know. So this doesn't benefit anybody at all. And like you says, all these issues that are on the table, what they call bread and butter issues, right? This is what everybody, especially the younger generation, should be concerned about. We want to see better roads, better healthcare system, better schools, better transport links, because that is what is going to benefit everybody. And that's what we should be doing, not thinking that, this person is from my village and my clan, and we need to vote for him and put him in the council and SADIA ZAMAAN, which is nonsensical in the first place. Okay, right? Because as you know, as Muslims, we believe that it is Allah that gives everything. Okay, so it's Allah's will that what happens. So this whole attitude needs to change. And like you said earlier, that when you enter the Labour Party, you want to think about it like this: when you enter the lion's den, you will get devoured by the lions. You will get devoured by the lions. So this notion that's going around, oh, we're going to change things from within. I've never seen, or I know of, any organization, anything that people have changed from within. Okay, racism exists in most institutions in this country, and nothing has changed. We've got a prime minister who's not white. Okay, right? He's not elected, by the way, right? How much change have you seen in society? In my opinion, racism has gone up.
Yeah, definitely. So, shall we move on to the next character?
Yes, please.
The character is our candidate is Sabar Hussain.